Roethlisberger in his latest mailbag. When asked about Big Ben's offseason fitness program, Glazer said, quote, "First of all, let's not put the words fitness and Ben Roethlisberger together. His idea of a great offseason workout program is doing one yoga session, playing golf, and drinking some beer." So, Shannon, how concerned should the Steelers be about this?
Skip, they shouldn't be concerned. Big Ben is 38. Big Ben has never been known for had an aesthetically pleasing body, so to speak of, Skip. When you look at quarterbacks, with the exception of Cam Newton, how many times you ever seen it's like, man, I want to be built like the quarterback. It's normally wide receivers, running back, and the defensive side of the football other than defensive linemen, unless you're Aaron Donald or Myles Garrett. But for the most part, Skip, quarterbacks have narrow shoulders. Skip, they don't need a whole lot of muscle. They don't need to be ripped up, shredded up, and tore up to go out there and throw. Can he get the ball from point A to point B? Can he hit the ball? Can he throw the ball to the guy in stride? Can he do that? That's all they care about in Pittsburgh, Skip. Big Ben is 38. What, you expect him to come in at 225 when he's played the lion's share of his career at 245, 250? Skip, that's not going to happen. That's who he is. Tom Brady, you see other guys have taken their workouts and their diet, their nutrition very serious. But I never looked at Ben as like, man, Ben really working out hard in the offseason. He's eating properly. Nobody ever go say that. The question is, Skip, can he throw the ball? Can he win games? That's all they care about in Pittsburgh, and that's all they should care about.
So you just mentioned the diametrically opposed Tom Brady. I do believe that a huge part of his longevity, as he wants to play at 43, 44, maybe up to 48, is his off-season conditioning. Heck, his in-season conditioning. You work out hard, I work out hard, Tom Brady works out hard. Again, he's found new ways to work out that he says don't threaten his body. He doesn't lift heavy weight anymore. It's more pliability, it's more stretching, it's more lightweight, it's more resistance bands. But he's still working hard to stay young in his body. And I think it's crucial to his longevity that he has done that. I think his teammates feed off that. I think that rubs off on the locker room that he's early to the weight room or to the workout room and late to leave. So he is one way to do it. And then there's this way to do it. And Shannon, I know you played with guys who just were blessed. They're just blessed. They just were born with the right genetics. It's what I call country strong. And it can be black guys, white guys. They just got born strong. And they don't have to lift a weight. Big Ben is aptly named Big Ben. He is a huge human being. He is hard to pull down. It's just hard to get him on the ground. Plus, he's got nice athletic ability because he's got really good hand-eye coordination, which is why he's a good golfer. And so he can throw with velocity or touch. And he likes to compete. He enjoys competing at ping pong or pool or whatever you want to, or golf. And so he loves to get out and compete. But he just has that natural knack, that gift of he can find the open receiver and throw him a very catchable pass. Well, he just blessed, man. That's just lucky. You got the right constitution, the right genetics, the right skill set that you can get away without working out. And again, was Jay poking a little fun? He probably was, but there's some truth in there too. We all know Ben's never been a workout warrior. So again, at age 38, after he took the season off because he finally got hurt, he'd been averaging 14 games a year, so he's not been a beat-up, banged-up quarterback before. He's been fairly durable. And yet, Shannon, at 38, do I expect them to have a good year and him to have a very good year? I do. I think he could be the comeback player of the year. I think they could win 10 games. I think their defense is very good. I think they could at least challenge or threaten the Ravens in that division. So if I'm the Steelers, I'm like, we're good. We don't need to push and prod him to work out harder in the offseason. Now, is he going to last into his 40s? Probably not. But again, at 38, I still think he's in shape enough, in Ben shape enough, to be really good.
Skip, if you look at guys that are really good at golf, you look at their fluid, they don't have a whole lot of muscle. I'm too muscle bound up top.
Nope.
So for me to get back and open up and swivel my hips, I'm tight. I'm tight like that. But you look at basketball players, you look at the quarterback, you look at baseball players, Skip, you look at hockey players, guys that doesn't have a whole lot of shoulder girth, that's fluid through this motion, Skip. Those are the guys that are good at golf. Well, you try to get a linebacker out there, you try to get a linebacker out there, Skip, and think he about to hit some balls. That ain't happening. It's not. The only Skip in running backs, you look at running like Marcus Allen, they swing the golf clubs. Marshall Faulk is good at playing golf. But Skip, if you look at those guys upper body, I'm too muscle bound. So it ain't no sense in me wasting my time. And plus, I like working out. That's not what Ben likes doing. And Ben is like, I got 3 500-yard passing games. I've won 2 Super Bowls. I've been to a third. I've been to the Pro Bowl. I've won a number of divisions. I'm good. I'm going to keep this up. The same way Tom Brady's like, I like to eat the way I eat. I like to train the way I train. And look what it's been for me. I got all these touchdowns, all these yards, all these Super Bowls. I'm not changing. Skip, once a guy's had success doing things his way, regardless of what the training is, Skip, it's hard to get him out of that. Because athletes, Skip, they're very, you know, Skip, they're very superstitious. Very. And if they find something that worked, whether it's wearing the same socks, the same jock, taking the same route to the stadium, guys will do that. Ben has had success doing it this way. Being 245, 250, who knows, hell, maybe even 260. Because like you said, Skip, you don't get the name Big Ben from being 185 pounds. I mean, sometimes we see guys, Skip, they huge, and they call them tiny. Like, why the hell you call that man tiny? That man's 6'5", 300 pounds. You talking about tiny. Ain't nothing tiny about him. But Big Ben was named Big Ben for a reason. And so, like I said, Skip, and I don't think the injury had anything to do with conditioning. Now, if he tore a muscle, I was like, well, Ben, you need to shed some. But, Skip, that's a freak injury. An elbow ligament, that ain't got nothing to do with physical fitness.
I know. No, I got it. To your golf point, that was a really insightful point because once upon a time, before I started lifting weights, I was pretty long with my driver for my size. And Shannon, as soon as I started hitting the weights, I got tighter and tighter because I liked the way I looked, so my vanity overtook me, and it hurt my driver. I lost yardage with my driver as I gained muscle in my upper body. They don't go together. I think Tiger Woods struggled with his early weightlifting because it wasn't great for him. It's about flexibility and that pliability that Brady talks about. Right. And I will bet you that Big Ben, not working out, not lifting weights, I bet he hits it a country mile with his driver on the golf course because he's the kind of guy who can. Flexible and big.
Yeah. Skip, the thing is, like, my brother, he didn't play golf until he, till he retired from the league. And, he's like, hey, bro, I need you to help me get in shape. I want to, shed a few pounds. And I had him lifted. And he's like, nah, bro, I can't lift it. I can't lift like that anymore. I said, why not? He said, it messes up my swing. He says, I can't drive the ball. He says, I'm not fluid with my iron. He said, bro, I'll do these lower body exercises. I'll walk, but I'm not lifting. I'm not touching the weight upper body. And, he can hit the ball a mile. He goes up to Tahoe, and he plays fairly well, finishes top 10 a couple. Like I said, you have to be fluid through this, Skip, and I got too much muscle. I hate it. It is what it is.
The one thing about Big Ben Roethlisberger, when he does retire, whenever that is, at age 40 or whenever it is, he's a candidate for weight gain because he's never really had to watch what he ate. And because he didn't, he doesn't work out. Whoa, be careful, Mr. Roethlisberger, because as you go toward 50, you're going to start gaining weight because you've never had to work at anything to keep it off. You let football take it off of you or keep it off.
Because here's Skip, the problem that they run into, and this is what most athletes, regardless of position, because I see cornerbacks that look like D linemen now, and I see running backs that look like offensive linemen now. The problem is, Skip, is that they keep the same eating habits, but they don't work out with the same intensity. Well, you can't do that.
No.
One or two things, and sometimes it's both. Skip, you got to work out harder and eat less, or you got to do both. That's it. You got to work out hard and eat less. You can't all of a sudden say, you know what, I'm going to eat whatever I want and just start working out like you did when you played. okay, I see big things in your future, and I'm not talking about a job promotion. So you keep eating that. You keep eating that same way, Skip, and not working out and see what happens.